As part of We the People, celebrating 250 years, here's This Day in History. Proudly sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Yep, as we continue to celebrate America's 250th birthday this year, we're sharing, of course, our We the People series, the people, places, and things of the past that have shaped our country into what it is today. What do we got going on, Charlie?
Oh, on this day, July 30th, back in 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed Medicare into law. At the time, Medicare was only a health insurance program for elderly Americans. Former President Harry Truman was enrolled as Medicare's first beneficiary and received the first Medicare card. Johnson wanted to recognize Truman, who had become the first president to propose national health insurance 20 years earlier, an initiative that was opposed at the time by Congress. About 19 million people enrolled in Medicare when it went into effect in 1966. In 1972, eligibility for the program was extended to Americans under 65 with certain disabilities and people of all ages with permanent kidney disease requiring dialysis or transplant. That's This Day in History for July 30th. For We the People, I'm Charlie Shortino.
Charlie, hard to believe it wasn't that long ago that that was first installed for the first time, and I mean, still such an important initiative for many today.
Yeah, I don't know what people did prior to that after they retired, so yeah.
All right.
Big day.
It is a big day. Tim, we'll send it over to you for a check of the traffic.